So I figured I would try and do a video while I'm driving, and I have 100 and some miles till my next direction. I thought I'd do a little video on courage. Obviously he's not with me right now, but kind of just a backstory, because it's a pretty cool story to me and my family as to how he got his name, how I got him, and kind of what I've done with him. So Courage is a Mustang. I got him for the Extreme Mustang makeover back in 2013, and I was competing in Fort Worth, Texas. He was 2 years old at the time, and so the way that works is you get a random draw, and depending on the year, you'll either get a yearling or a 2-year-old, because I was only 13 at the time. So the youths get either a yearling or a 2-year-old, and the adults get older horses. And they try to keep them all as similar as possible, you know, so it's as even as possible, but as with animals, you know, they're not cookie cutters. So we drove out to Nebraska and picked up my Mustang. It was my mom's first time pulling a trailer, and she goes hundreds of miles to pick up a wild animal. Love my mom. I'm very blessed that I have a family that supported my crazy dreams even at an early age. And so we went out to Nebraska to pick up this wild animal, and I ended up meeting Tom Hagwood and his family, which was incredible because I always wanted to meet them. Because I had seen Wild Horse, Wild Ride, which is a documentary for the Extreme Mustang makeover. And so we get him loaded, and we're trying to decide what I'm going to name him. And because I hadn't picked out a name yet, because, I don't know, I guess I didn't plan ahead very well. So we're driving home, and there's been a couple suggestions, but nothing's really clicking. And for some reason, I just kept hearing Courage, but I wasn't sure. And so I don't know why, but I decided to pray, and I was like, God, if you want me to name him Courage, have him touch me on the way home so I know that's the name you want me to give this horse. And I had never prayed for a horse's name, because to me I was like, oh, well, that's silly, right? But I prayed it. We ended up stopping for gas probably an hour later, and I went over to some tall grass and picked some grass and was offering it to him, and instead of taking the grass, he very purposefully touched my hand. And I was like, all right, well, I feel like this is an answer. This is a sign from God that he wants me to name him Courage. So that's how he got his name. And then, so I had 90 days to take him from this wild animal who had never seen people before to this tame horse. So it didn't take very long for him to touch me, get used to me being around him and leading, just because he's a very inquisitive horse. He's not spooky. His first reaction to being afraid is not to jump and run. It is, let me think about this and figure out how I can do the least amount of work possible. Which worked out really, really well in my favor. So, somewhere within those 90 days, we had someone I consider a very dear friend now, Mark Lyon and Miranda, out, and they helped me start getting it a little nicer. So, like, I remember specifically Miranda gave me 2 cups of water to hold in my hands and run with, to keep my hands even and to stop like bouncing around. And Mark had helped me work on getting my horse to side pass towards me, and they both kind of helped me start some liberty and get a few things finished for my routine. And I'm so grateful that they took the time to invest into me, because like, I'm not really anybody in the horse world. They didn't get anything from helping me. They just did because they're good people. And I'm so grateful for the family that I developed from the Mustang Heritage Foundation. So I ended up going and competing, and I had 3 or 4 classes, I believe. It's been about 9 years, so it's a little foggy. I remember I had one class that I didn't do very well because I was very upset about it, because I wanted to do great and everything, okay? I'm a perfectionist. I wanted to be the best. I know it's not realistic because I had never trained a horse before, and I had never shown a horse before that, so I was just kind of flying blind at this point. But I got a couple of good placings in a couple of my classes. I think 6th in my freestyle, which was surprising because looking back at it now, my freestyle was, yeah, it was good. Don't get me wrong, it was good, but it wasn't super impressive. It wasn't stunning. It wasn't something that, like, stands out to me. But I was really proud that I got 6th place. And then we went in for the awards, and I was standing next to a couple of my friends, and I remember saying, oh, I'm so excited for you, like, I just know you're gonna get something, which they did, because they're really talented. The Deedens, if you ever get a chance to look them up, they're super talented and a lot of fun, just really good people. But I was standing next to the girls thinking I'm not gonna get anything, and I was resolved to it. I was like, you know, it is what it is. I did my best. I had a great time. I've got this amazing horse that I get to take home, and they get to 10th overall and they called my name. And I will say, I was so shocked. I could hear my family like erupt in the stands. They were so excited and shocked as well. And yeah, it was honestly the best experience I've ever had. It was a dream come true. I've always wanted, since I was a small child, to have a wild Mustang. Because I love that Spirit of the Cimarron, or whatever that movie is called. I watched it on replay so much. I had it all memorized at one point. So it was always my dream, but I didn't think it was real, I guess. And then I got to do this crazy experience and work with a real wild Mustang. And I'm just so grateful that my family invested in that crazy dream and allowed me to pursue it and help me to do that. You know, I mean, my dad took time off work to come with me down to Texas, as well as my mom. My mom drove with the trailer down to Texas. Just so many sacrifices were made just so that I could pursue this big dream that by all rights I had no right to. Like, I had no idea what I was doing, but they still encouraged me and made it happen, and that's put me where I am today. But yeah, fast forward a few years, you know, I've been riding him. We've competed in fair. He did really well in fair, especially considering, you know, I don't know a lot with horses. I'm learning with him. I've learned a lot through him and through different people that have invested in me and that I've interned with, like Mark Lyon specifically. And this past year, we were in a Christmas show called Majestic Noel, and if you're up in Shipshewana, Indiana, you should definitely go and see it. And this year we'll be in it as well. And then depending on how everything goes, where I feel like God is leading me and him, there may be more really big news for me and Courage in the near future. But we'll have to see what happens, because I know it's gonna happen at some point. It's just when. And I don't want to put it out there until I feel like it's a solid plan, until all the ducks are in the row, you know. Don't get the cart before the horse. So yeah, I just thought I would do a short little video about kind of me and Courage and what we've done. Hopefully it wasn't too much rambling. Like I said, I'm on this long drive. I've got like 100 miles till my next direction, so I thought, what's a better time to try to film this little video, try to get used to talking in front of the camera. I've not done a lot of talking on camera just because I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy looking at my own face in a video. It feels very self-involved. But I also know that if I'm going to try to do training videos, that's a part of it. So, yet another thing I'm trying to learn here. But thank you guys for tuning in. I hope y'all have a wonderful day and that you're blessed and you're staying safe. And I'll check in with you later. Thanks.